Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good morning everybody. Happy Saturday and welcome to another edition of the AccessToTrader.com weekend update show. Hope everybody is doing well. Guys, do me a favor, take a moment out, support the channel if you like the content. If you like, kind of where we're going with this, hit that like button, subscribe, come aboard if you haven't done so already. And hopefully, again, I will continue to do my best to point you in the right direction. So let's kind of go back to last week. Actually, you know what? Let's go back till last Christmas, right? Last Christmas, we started seeing a very, very noticeable, weakness in the mega cap technology stocks, not named MU, not named Sandus, right? The majority of the group was very, very weak. You could started to see a buyer strike come in. And for the next couple of weeks, we lost the 50-day moving average. And that was a big deal. Again, if you've been kind of following along for year after year after year, again, I've been hosting Access to Trader for 17 years. So we have a pretty decent sample size of what losing the 50-day moving average is. So we lost the 50-day moving average, and we just couldn't get back above since the start of, since the end of January, right? That was kind of a big deal. And we went through like 6 weeks of this distribution channel. Stocks couldn't get above the 50-day. But they couldn't get below the 150-day as well. And a lot of traders were very, very frustrated because, again, there's no directional value in the market. Yes, can you find decent value every single day on an individual basis? You 100% can, because that's, again, there's a lot of stocks, right? Especially in the technology space. But what happened was, well, we went to war with Iran, right? We went to war in Iran. The market got shook. But yet we still could not get down below the 150-day moving average or break back above. At some point, what we talked about was the longer the war keeps going, the higher probability we start getting tone deaf to headlines, right? This is kind of the reality. Again, the most aggressive volatility in the Russia Ukraine conflict was in the first 2 weeks. After that, not that nobody cared, but it was like an afterthought, and we tested multiple times all-time highs. So it's not really the sense of urgency of headline already. It's the most sense of urgency of tactical type of organic flow and a directional bias. And that was kind of the stake. So we saw finally, after 6.5 weeks, we lost the 150-day moving average. I've been kind of giving you guys the price points, the price action of the Qs all the way down, right? I mean, very, very big levels. And we talked about that 605 level, potentially losing the 604, potentially losing the 64 EMA. That got hit. We talked about the 597 level. Guys, watch 597, watch 597, 597. It closed below 597. That got hit. And if you go back to last weekend update, I gave you the Messiah, right? The mother lode. You can't really argue with somebody about how important that area of price discovery was. And you go back to last weekend's video. You guys remember this? 591, 591, 591, 591, 591, 591, right? That is the 200-day moving average. It was super duper important. That was going to confirm technical damage, and this was really going to be center stage of whether the bulls can survive in this downdraft, in this back test of an incredible bull market action for the last several years. And we got our answer, right? We got our answer. We closed below the 591 area, and this is now going into Monday's session. This is now the first close below the 200-day moving average in a very, very long time. If you look at the monthly chart, the last time we got back above this range was in November, right? November. So we are below the November lows, okay? And if you can see where next measure potential is, if the bulls can't recover it, because again, remember, we're not trying to guess where the market's going. We are just trying to trade on the data that's in front of us. So the longer that we can't reclaim back the 200-day moving average, the higher probability the ceiling gets built on lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and the market has next measure potential all the way down here on the weekly chart. Now, yet we could turn around Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We could have a powerful rally. We could reclaim back the 200-day moving average, and the bulls have tendencies to have a longer leash, right? Easier to breathe. But the longer we continue to build below 591, below the 200-day moving average, the higher probability the buyers will get frustrated, the buyers will get tired, and more selling pressure will come in. Now, Friday after the close, you had news coming out that President Trump is considering a wind down on the military, on the Iran military effort, right? We knew this was coming, right? It's not like, it's not like when the conflict started, there was going to be there was never going to be an end to this cycle. But tweets like this or news like this is not news. We know eventually they will wind down operations, but it's not anytime soon, right? I think that's the most important part. The idea that, first of all, that we're winding down over the weekend, it's not happening. Iran is, popping a lot of stuff off. They're not going down until every person on their side is done, right? They're not going out. They hate us, right? They hate us as just reality. You can put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. So it's not going to be as simple as, well, they're just going to lay down their arms and everything's going to be great. So the market after the close, the Qs were gapping like $3 to $4 on this headline of considering, right? Considering, not we are. Considering winding down operations, okay? So the worst part of this considering operations is, well, there's gonna be a lot of people chasing this headline, and you're gonna realize come Monday morning, it's just a headline. There's nothing factual behind it. And the problem is when you have technical damage, okay, and this is kind of where we are, when you have technical damages in the first close below the 200-day moving average since November, if you are considering, again, I can't tell you what to do. I'm not your keeper. I'm not trying to persuade you one way or another. We're just talking about facts. We're talking about data. So if you are chasing this headline, whether it was Friday afternoon or come Monday morning, remember two things you never do. Number one, you never buy a gap up the day after technical damage. You never, under any circumstances. And the reason why is because you're going to be buying stocks that are gapping right back into supply where the probability is where they broke down in the first place. So if you're buying a gap up after technical damage, well, you're really taking the idea that you can have a gap and go after the first close on the 200-day moving average it's wild. It's a wild thought. Again, listen, is it possible the market's open? Sure, it's possible, but the probability, right? Again, life is all about probability. Gambling is all probability. Trading is about probability. Crossing the highway, well, cars are going 100 miles an hour is a probability that you'll survive or not. But the idea that your first inclination come Monday morning is to buy a gap up on a considering tweet, right? On a considering winding down operations tweet. Well, again, you're all adults, your dance, your dime, your dance floor. I think there's a really, really good chance that if we do gap back into supply, they're going to get rejected because, again, look how many stocks closed below the 200-day moving average. It's kind of amazing here. Tesla, again, if you've been following along on Tesla, I've given you guys pretty much every level. Tesla is below the 200-day moving average. Look at NVIDIA, right? Look at NVIDIA. Great earnings, great keynote event, blah, 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 blah. It's below the 200-day moving average, right? Meta is absolutely smoked, right? Meta's absolutely smoked. It lost every area this week. It lost the 609. It lost the January 2600 double bottom. It lost everything, right? It looks completely like destruction, absolutely destruction. SMCI should be shorted on any strength for the foreseeable lifetime in the next. Okay, if you guys didn't see the news, apparently the CEO is, stealing NVIDIA chips. I don't know what the hell he's doing, right? I couldn't even care less. The point is, stock is down 30%, 30+%. This thing into any strength, whether it's A 60-minute channel, or especially a daily channel, should be shorted, right? Not random spots, but any into 60-minute or into any daily supply. Let me give you guys some other names. I mean, the market does not look great, man. It really doesn't. So just beware, buyer beware of any potential gap ups into supply. I mean, look at a chart like Monster Beverage, right? And again, there's a million charts, but look at Monster Beverage. It's held the 150-day moving average 4 times. This thing loses the 150-day moving average, it goes lower. I started a swing on AVAV. I've been talking about AVAV on and off for the last couple of weeks. It finally broke down. We shorted it at 205. It traded all the way down to like 193. I still got half. It closed. It is closing below this magnificent engulfing pattern. This thing starts losing Friday's channel come Monday. Hopefully we'll get a move down to this 187 level. This looks, just awful, just absolutely awful. Look at Google, right? Look at Google. Look how close this Google is to losing this whole channel here, guys. This is a channel going all the way back to February 17th. This is a major channel. It's not imminent yet, but look how close it's getting. See, I think you get the point, right? I think you get the point. There's so many names that have technical damage. Again, the last thing you want to do is wake up Monday morning without the idea that stocks gapping up after technical damage, higher probability will get stuffed, right? Will get stuffed into some sort of supply zone. And the last thing you want to do is get long into supply. 15 minutes later, the market goes red and yada, yada, yada. We confirm a down second day below the 200-day moving average. Again, you guys are all adults. My job is to present the data to you, present the data to you, and you can make up your own mind what you want to do. You want to be long, you want to be short, that's up to you, but data is the data. We're not trying to guess. We're not trying to outsmart the market. We sure as all not trying to sound smart. Again, I am the king of the idiots. I'm not good at guessing. It's all data-driven. And finally, when you sit there and you embrace technical analysis and you embrace the data, that the probability then goes on your side because you're not anticipating, you're not guessing, you're not forecasting. All you're doing is reacting to the data. Again, if you are a brand new trader or kind of stuck in your development and you're interested in pivots, guys, hang out for the next 30 days. You'll quickly see what these pivots are all about. You'll quickly see if this is something you are interested and comfortable with. And it's a really cool way of navigating the market, trading both sides of exposure. Guys, God bless. Have a wonderful weekend. And with God's help, I'll see you all on Monday. Take care.